and down upon this little town, but she left a path. She may not be tearing up the old plank boards, knocking down the bricks or busting doors, but she's twisting round this little town. Little Miss Twister, take cover from her twisted charm. You can't stop her. With the damage done, you're a lucky one if you miss her. Little Miss Twister, like a lightning fast turning funnel, to try to pull you into her funhouse tunnel. So you better run and you better hide, or you'll end up like one of the others, like a storm chaser who didn't run for cover from a twisted. You get tossed around, Little Miss Twister. Take cover from her twisted charm. You can't stop her. With the damage done, you're a lucky one if you miss her. Little Miss Twister. She blazes through this town like a savage storm. She was raised the preacher's firstborn. It's 16 miles to the promised land, and I promise you I'm doing the best I can. Now don't fool yourself. I got the girl thing going on. It's a whirlwind of shoes and thongs. I'm overflowing with chiffon, and I dress myself to my favorite songs. I got the girl thing through and through. I want the diamond ring and girls too. I need the whole shebang, something borrowed and blue, till death do us part, and lots of I love yous. It's a girl thing, try to understand. It's not a me thing, no different than my friends. I get what I want, and I want it back, and it's a girl thing. Ooh, ooh, it's a girl thing. wine is my drink. Imagine that warm bubbles flowing in my bath. When I put my jeans on, I ask if I love that. It's a girl thing. Try to understand, it's not a me thing. No different than my friends. I get what I want, and I want it back. And it's a girl thing. Ooh, it's a girl thing. I need a girl thing tonight. Gather the girlfriends for a really good time. Hit the dance floor till morning light. When tomorrow comes, we'll have something to hide. It's a girl thing. Try to understand, it's not a me thing. No different than my friends. I get what I want, when I want it back. And it's a girl thing. Come on, girls. Yeah, it's a girl thing. Try to understand, it's not a me thing. No different than my friends. I get what I want, when I want it back. And it's a girl thing. Ooh, it's a girl thing. It's a girl thing.
Feeling the girl power.
Good morning, Johnson County. It's Sarah, aka Red, aka sometimes they call me High Octane. Just depends. And we have Mike Wilshire in the house.
It is good to be here. I get to be in here with the vibes, man. I already feel it. I feel my estrogen levels rising. Y'all are awesome. I watch y'all every day, 9 o'clock.
You know, you ought to see how, I don't know how Jason Bagley handles it. I think it's probably all those years in choir he spent, you know, he was a choir kid, which I resonate with. I was one of them too. But yeah, that's probably how he can handle it all the time.
He's a trooper. He gets in here and hangs with y'all. And just, I feel like he's probably coming out with a scar or two, you know, a little bit of nicks and stuff. That's a bad place to be if everybody starts hating on a man. It'd be a bad place to be.
And we don't hate on him.
No,
we
y'all
have
don't.
A good time
y'all have a good time. But I mean, if it went bad or something, he's just stuck in the room. He can't get away.
I know.
That'd be awesome.
Got you where I want you. Now I'm going to eat you.
He just, and I'll see his head drop sometimes. He's
like, no, he's like, so many comments. I can't make any of them.
Quit saying the word hard in this room. He just had this look on his face. And,
Yeah, he's a hoot though.
That's awesome.
I left my key to the office at home this morning after I dropped the lease off. I had to go back and get it. So I was a little bit, I'm still not put together yet. I'm trying to, it's not working.
You look like that old cartoon of when I walked in, you look like the Tasmanian devil running around, little whirlwinds everywhere. Got to get my coffee made. Got to finish putting my makeup on.
And you can't touch my coffee because I do it twice.
Right. You have this religious thing that you do. It's the coffee shrine. You're like, I do one really strong, large one.
And then I do another really strong, little one.
And it feels, and I was just like, I stirred your coffee and I went to hand it to you like it was a cauldron of, you know, something that a brew that you made, a witch's brew that you're like, and it's filled to the top. I'm going to burn myself.
Yeah. But that's what I do every day. And Tiffany had to wait for the contractor at her house. So she had to give them instructions and get going for them to get she's remodeling.
Could you imagine being that contractor getting the instructions from her? I mean, first of all, the house looks amazing every time I've ever seen photos, but like 1 minute it looked like Chernobyl. The next minute it looked like Versailles, you know what I mean? Like it's just beautiful. And so there's this contract somewhere that Tiffany is probably telling him, and I want this, and I want this, and I want that, and I want this. And he's just like standing there sweating, going, I can do that. But on the inside, he's going, oh.
Yeah. Don't make this lady mad. Let's make sure she gets everything she wants and just how she wants it. It's, there's nothing wrong with that. She is a woman of authority. I love it. They say you're the average of the 5 people closest to you.
Right.
So I like having her in my percentage here.
Right. You surround yourself with really smart people, you'll be looking smart all day long. That's why I hang out with y'all.
I don't like to be the smartest person. Well, I do like to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
I just, I don't like to stay there very long if I am.
Right.
I want other people to be smarter than me so I can learn something from them.
Yeah. I got to learn something from somebody somewhere, or else, it's just not going to be, it's not a productive day.
Right.
Right. Just got to learn something new. And it never ceases to amaze me what I learned. I learned something new last night. Right.
Sure did.
What was the word? Thirsty.
Thirsty. What does thirsty mean?
Y'all had to jump in the feed and explain it to me. I am an old man. I didn't realize,
and it's a new word for sure, like that they've turned that into, which I'm a little bit behind on times. My kid is saying stuff to me all the time, and I'm like, she's like, man, you ate that outfit. And I was like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. Are you calling me fat? Are you calling me fat? What do you mean?
What do you mean? Because like used to, you'd say that about some chick wearing really tiny shorts and like your ass is eating those bridges,
right.
because they're going up. But this was not this. That's not what they mean anymore.
Right. And there's terms that like bet. Apparently bet.
Bussin'. How about bussin'?
Right.
I'm like, oh my God. If my child ever said bussin', I would be like, I would bust her ass. I mean,
I was standing with some comedians. We were about to go on.
Like, come on.
We were about to go on stage one night with some comics, and they were like, bet. And I'm like, how much? What are we betting on? I mean, I got a gambling problem. Apparently, I didn't realize it.
I don't mind the bet one because it's kind of like
truth, I guess, is what they're saying. What you're saying is truth,
or no, it's like, well, yeah, it's what I'm saying is true. Like if maybe you challenged me, like bet, like I got it. It's me. It's the truth. I know
that. I know that these kids were talking in front of me one time about the different drugs that kids are into, and they were using the slang for the drugs. And I am like, thank God I am not into drugs, because I wouldn't know how to order from the drug dealer, because you're using words I've never heard those words.
I'm like,
what? What? It's like he's trying to talk to me and he's using English, but it's just not making sense. It's a code inside of a code type thing.
Yeah, I don't do drugs.
I know, right? I'm too weird with that. Without them, I'm too weird already. I can't get on them. I mean, like, it would just be
right.
It would just be hectic mess. It would just.
People think that I'm like. People will accuse me of being kind of into drugs or whatever because I take Adderall. Well, no, my doctor prescribes that shit for me. Like I don't take it because I want to. It's because otherwise I'm not a human, and I stay at home and I don't do anything.
I don't think Adderall is something that you could do a bunch of them without having a heart attack, right? I mean, like, you just have to take the one prescribed amount, isn't it?
I mean, sure. Like, my ex-friend was trying to get me to take diet pills. I'm like, I actually like how I like myself, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to do that. I like my clothes to fit, that sort of thing. But so anyway, she was trying to get me to take these diet pills, and the number one, I was like, okay, fine. Like, she was warting me to death about it. So I said, okay, what is it? Tell me what the name of the medication is, and I'll look it up and see if it is even something I can take. So I look it up. And the number one problem that it counteracts, or you can't take it. You're not allowed to take it if you're taking Adderall. And I'm like, well, I need this. I don't need to be skinnier.
Right.
I would like to be a little thinner, but I like myself enough. I don't need that. I need to focus.
Right.
I need to be able to do my job. So, you win some, you lose some. And I was like, So she was like, fine, like, okay, fine. And I don't understand. Anyway, we're not friends anymore.
My doctor, I go see my doctor.
She
and
also owes me $2,000. Whatever.
Well, I would stay friends with her until I get to 2.
It wasn't my decision.
I got a guy named Tony we can send over there. He breaks people's thumbs, he gets 20% of whatever he collects, right? If you see your friend walking around with, some bandages on her thumbs, that Tony got the money and he's bringing it to you. He's bringing it to you, right? Big Tony.
That's sad. It made me sad,
Oh,
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I make it a point to only loan somebody money that I could forgive, like $50 maybe.
It wasn't supposed to be a loan. We were supposed to go on a trip.
Oh, there you go. That was an investment right there.
Yeah.
Going on a cruise?
Like Paris.
Ooh, Paris. I've been to Paris and it was very dirty.
Well, that's what I hear. I mean, I know that France is kind of dirty. That's just like everything is, but it's old, I mean, it's you go into an old house, you don't expect it to be pristine, super clean because it's old.
Well, and I'm an American, and I'm like, I'm so I'm over it. I don't care. I've seen these in pictures, and then I go to see the Eiffel Tower, and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
I was very humbled by it.
Here,
I'm like,
take my picture like everybody else.
Yeah. Here, I'm standing here, and don't mind this lady that's begging for money next to me in the photo. I mean, like the girls like come up to you, and they're like, I've been trafficked. I've been stuck here. They're like, you're an American. And then they hand you this stuff in English. Like, will you give me $50? I've been trafficked. I've been stuck here. And I'm like, let me take a selfie with the gypsy. I want to take a selfie, and everyone's just like staring at me. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm the opposite.
It's a real gypsy, like a real one, like Hunchback of Notre Dame gypsy.
I am the opposite of a tourist. I'm like I don't know, like a fan or something. I'm just like, I seen movies about you guys. They make romantic comedies. Are we gonna fall in love? I love those things. I love those.
So you had a wild show last night. And,
I did,
and that was interesting. I listened to the whole thing. While I was cooking dinner. I never cook dinner ever. I was saying this earlier. It's really hard to cook for 1 to 1.5 peoples. And so I just don't do it. And Elise is always at dance. So it's kind of like she's there till after 8 a lot. So it's like she's got to get fast food between, or I got to bring her something. Well, I'm working, so I don't necessarily have time to cook dinner at, 4 o'clock.
Right. And I'm a former dance dad. My oldest, she's 27. She did dance all through junior high and high school, and even did it with the Girl Scouts and the stuff that they did.
Oh yeah.
And so it was really like Russian roulette. You didn't know if she was going to come home hungry as a hippo or she was coming home. No, Dad, I can only have a little piece of lettuce off of your shirt from where you were making the salad. Like I can't eat tonight. And so you didn't know.
Oh gosh.
And so you would be in there cooking, and I cook enough for 2 of us, and then she would come home and no, I'm not eating, and then go to bed. And you're like, God dang it, now I got all this chicken.
Yeah.
I got leftover chicken.
It's just not fun. But I put there was a dinner required 2 bottles of wine.
Yep. Yep.
But only half a bottle went in the food.
Really? I wonder where that other bottle and a half went,
But notice my hair's still wet.
Right.
Like I'm a little bit behind. I was on the struggle bus this morning for sure. Forgot my key, forgot whatever.
Right.
Made it. It is Thankful Thursday. I'm thankful to be here.
Right.
It's awesome.
I'm thankful that I have a key now. Because because I was so new, they forgot about me. And I would show up and I'm like, how do I get into the station? And I'd have to call someone. And inevitably, it was like y'all took turns coming up here, letting me in. Everybody was kind enough to throw it. Diana saved me at the last minute one day and came and let me in. So Tiffany got me a key. And I'm able to get in now. And I'm like, oh, that is a saving grace. Now I don't sweat it anymore. I'm like, I'll be fine. I can get there at 5:15. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Because if you get here too late, there's definitely not anybody here.
There is no way. And even though you're right close by, it's still lights and pretty far with traffic at that time. Because my show goes on at 6. And Renfro and Wilshire is the worst intersection in all of Burleson at 6:00.
Right.
So, so it's going to be bad. But yeah, I thought moving to this small town, I was going to see more of the quad that's lit up at Christmas, and Lacey Chablet comes home.
Is, drive by it.
Right. And Lacey Chablet is supposed to come home for the Big City Girl. She went off from the country to Big City, come back. Oh, I've been watching too much Hallmark, right?
I'm like,
she's gonna find the love of her
I'm
life.
like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch the Hallmark movies. I can't handle it.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's just too much.
Just the amount of cheese is just queso.
Well, and they always have that girl that lights up the room. But if you turn it over to Discovery ID, you don't want to be the girl that lit up the room. That's the girl that always gets murdered on Discovery ID. Sarah walked into a room. Everyone
loved her.
Everyone loves
her.
Her
Smile just was contagious. It was the laugh. It was my laugh. Somebody murdered me over my laugh.
There was one person that did not like Sarah, and we're looking for the guy with the butcher knife somewhere, right? There's guy somewhere.
I did date a chef for a while, so.
Yeah, you brought up an interesting point. You brought up an interesting point last night about the guys that don't take the hint.
Oh, man.
It's
insane.
I think everything's a hint. I think you could tell me everything. You're like, don't touch my coffee cup. And I'm like, oh my God, do you need me to leave? Am I doing something wrong? Is it over already? No,
slowly back out of the room.
I'm saying I put more coffee in on strong at the.
Don't turn your back to that one. Just slowly walk.
I think everything's a hint. You sit there and watch Discovery ID, and you turn to the person beside you and go, "We're good, aren't we? Yeah. We're okay, aren't we?"
Well, one day you're best friends. The next day she's
Right. She murdered you for your husband. And you're like, you could have just took him for free.
I think we might have been better friends if you had.
If you'd have took him off my hands, I probably would have been better off when it's over and done with.
I would let you keep the money.
So you had guys that just wouldn't take the hint and just kept calling, dinging away, texting.
I have. I have. Not a bunch, because I don't necessarily entertain a whole lot. In not so many terms.
But it happens.
And my most recent one that hadn't taken the hint, he may have finally gotten it, because he would message me or whatever, but it was all about him, and not even hey, how are you doing? It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard from you. Or is everything okay? What's going on? Shit could have gone south in my world, and it'd be nice if somebody checked on me. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to, date me or whatever, but you weren't really into that part. You're just,
that's my whole reason for having a female friend. I want y'all to,
make sure you're alive.
Well, and I want you to regurgitate your horrible day to me. I want to hear, I'm like, give me the tea. I want to hear it. You hang out with a bunch of guys, and it's all three guys standing together. We sound like the cast of Hank Hill, King of the Hill. We're all, yep, not saying anything. But you get with your friend that's a female, and she's like, look, the date was great. It was going well. And then all of a sudden I noticed something on his phone, and it was a hot chick, but he said it wasn't anyone, that it was a friend from a friend. And
that's just an Instagram model. That I wouldn't ever see him.
I'm like, tell me the story. I want to know. I went back to his place, and it looked like a dungeon. It was horrible.
Okay, so I went to this one. I was at a friend's house, and I went to the bathroom, and I came back out of the bathroom. It was there's a big bathroom, whatever, and then there was the room that the toilet was in, right? So I went to the bathroom. I came back out of the little toilet space, whatever, and go up to wash my hands at the sink, and I looked to my left, and where there's a big bathtub, and there's this big piece of artwork, right? And it's this big, huge, square piece of art. And
over the bathtub.
Mm-hmm. And it was just these lines, but they were kind of in a circular pattern. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, this guy has a butthole hanging on his wall. I was like, like,
was your butt making a beeping
I don't even
noise?
think he knew it looked like a butthole, but I'm like, that's definitely a butthole.
You're like, I heard a siren and it was coming from my butthole going, get out, get out, get out.
Okay, well, we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Can't wait. See you in just a couple minutes.
Abnormal realities. I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look.
Miss Dixie, how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys. I just wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I would rather have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Hey, dude. Nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my girl. I love you, Mom. Dixie.
Abnormal realities. My mom, love you.
Dixie.
Bye, I love you too.
With Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JOCO Community Radio. Holy crap.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
JOCO Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
And welcome back to the second half of JOCO Vibes here on JOCO Community Radio. I'm Tiffany Carlin, and I'm an echo. And I actually made it in here for the second half of the show. I can't believe it. So, yeah. So there's that, right? And I'm a little slow. Here we go. I did it. Listen, JOCO Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is a place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JOCOCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. So reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. You can always go to Next Level Claim, sorry, no S on the end, nextlevelclaim.com, and to learn more. They typically focus mostly on commercial property, and they help you get paid the full value of your claim, because insurance doesn't like to pay. They don't like to pay people.
Yeah, they
100%. So check them out. They're there to help you and get them in your corner before the next storm hits. Be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. That's THETIFFIE.com, where we have American-made accessories for women. Yeah. It's my company.
TheTiffy.com.
I will plug it. Great Christmas presents. So be sure to check that out as well. So thanks for joining us. As I said, I'm Tiffany Carlin, Sarah Reeves, and Mike Wilshire at the table. I'm so glad you jumped in with her this morning.
Hey, not a problem.
Thank you. I was like texting you going, I have an emergency at the house. I have contractors. I've got one guy doing tile at the house, and I needed to kind of get that rolling before I walked out the door and grab all the Schluter trim that was not the right stuff, so I could throw it back
and take it back and exchange it. And, so like I've been living at Lowe's and Home Depot and Floor and Decor for the past, I don't know, 4 weeks. But
they know you by your first name and
they do, like literally.
Like, here
she's
she
like,
comes
you're back again. And I'm
so
like,
good to see you.
yes. Yeah.
Here she comes again.
So I brought a paint can in so I could do touch-ups in the back living room where we took away 2 doors and went down to 1 door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, there's this can of old blue paint in my back kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And or I call it the basement. Although it's not downstairs, it's just in the back. And so I grabbed this blue can and I'm like, oh, great. Awesome. It's here. I take it in. He color matches it for me. And I get it on the walls and I'm like, this is dark. Like this, Todd's like, that's not right. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go out into the garage and I find another blue can. I'm like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this was the old like front living room color. And I'm like, some beach.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in.
Beach.
They fully match it. It matches perfect. And I get it on the walls and it has a sheen to it. And we're like, and it's flat. It is flat as flat can be. It's flat paint, but it's not
still
flat
sheen.
like what's on the wall.
So it was like a gloss. Like
it's got a little bit of a sheen to it on this flat. So I took the can back in and talking to my favorite paint guy. His name is David at Lowe's here in Burleson. He's absolutely awesome. And I was like, I'm like, he goes, look, the only thing we could do is try and do a ceiling paint and maybe tint it, but there's too much paint in the can to be able to add to it. So he gave me some tips. So I gotta try and like wash the sheen away.
Chalk paint or something.
No, I mean, I paint this room was originally painted in 2008, maybe 09. And I am not repainting this room. It's huge. It's huge. And I don't even think we got the tippy top of the room until like 3 weeks later. Todd finally got up on a really tall ladder and got the very, tippy corner. Tippy corner. Corner. Anyway,
I like
I just want to
tippy top.
I know you guys said you were, like briefly what you were thankful for because it is Thankful Thursday. So I am really thankful to like walk in the door and sit down at the table and Sarah makes me coffee.
Every time.
Yes. And I am so appreciative and thankful to you for doing that because it's like really nice to walk in and I'm like, somebody made me coffee. I'm like, that's spectacular. I could really use some breakfast though.
And you need some more. You need some more of your coffee pods.
My Italian
was your
roast.
last one of your favorites.
No,
so. I know.
I need to take a class on how to work that machine. I didn't do well on this second cup. I guess I forgot what setting I used on the first. And
Did you
overflowed a little bit?
Did you put too much?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wipe up and clean up out there.
Hey, that's why we have a tray under it. That's why there's a tray under the Keurig because you're not the only person who's overflown a cup.
That thing, you need a college degree to work these things now. You're like, dude, I used to have a pot that you put grounds in and you stuck it under there. There was a pot.
If we did that here, no one would ever make coffee. I have a sticker on the top of the water thing on the Keurig that says, please refill. And no one refill. Well, I don't want to say no one, but
I mean, most mornings when I get here, I have to fill it up most mornings, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I will start trying to help out.
So
it's just there. I mean, if you use it, refill it.
Refill it. Right.
I mean, it's, kind of an easy thing. Can I have that mouse really quick?
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks. We're not talking about our pets. So anyway, it's the Christmas season. You guys had some very funny conversation. It was great to have that you had Shelley Renfro on.
Oh, she's awesome.
And she's
a personality.
I loved her comment right in the beginning where she said, yeah, we're like the best intersection in town, Renfro and Wilshire.
Yeah. So I was like, I did not even think of that.
Right?
I didn't hear that one.
She said it right in the beginning,
just right off the bat
when you guys went live. So that was really awesome.
Oh yeah, she's a character. She's all personality. She does all that stuff for Johnson County where they're the ham radio and they do the backup stuff. So she's kind of famous in the emergency community. Oh. And she's just like a regular volunteer that she's always doing something, and a lot of fun and just a lot of banter. You have to have chemistry with somebody when you're on the radio with them. I always tell like the cops that come in and the guys, look, it's going to be the most awkward gay date you've ever had with a man because we kind of have to talk to each other. And then they're in here for like 30 minutes before the show starts. And they're like, this is awkward. And I'm like, don't worry. When the show comes on, it goes by quick.
Right.
And they're like, man, that was over in 5 minutes. That was easy.
That's what she said.
Right? That's it. Exactly.
That's what she said.
Like, it is when you're having fun, it's over in 30 seconds. You know? And
Okay.
the guys are.
I think that depends on like who you're with, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah. You have.
I've struggled through some interviews.
No, I mean,
I know what you were talking about too.
I'm not talking about the same thing here.
Yeah, I know what you were talking about too. I've struggled for that too.
So I know y'all.
Are you giving a shameless plug to a friend right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she gave me my birthday / Christmas present. So I've got a bunch of little dime bags here. But
Okay.
So she said I just
for jewelry.
So yeah, one of my oldest friends, she makes beaded bobby pins. Okay, and she has an extremely successful shop on Etsy called Hold Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So like they hold pretty. It holds your hair.
Do you want me to see if it'll hold me pretty? Give me one. I'll put it in my hair. See if it.
Yeah, it will. So she I told her I wanted some hair combs because I have this one that's really sparkly, but it's like too fancy to wear every day. And she was like, okay. So she made me 2 hair combs and some earrings because like I have sensitive ears. Like I'm wearing these big bow ones for like Christmas present bows, but I can't wear them all day. They hurt they make my ears react, Thanks. And so she was like, I just picked some colors to match your hair or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just realized this morning they like all match my jacket.
Yeah, they do.
I was like, oh, she didn't even know I had this jacket. Anyway, these cute little hair combs and beaded bobby pins and earrings. I'm so happy because I've like.
Okay, what's her Etsy shop again?
Hold Pretty.
Hold Pretty
is her Etsy shop on Etsy.
Yes.
Hold Pretty. Yes. And they are super cute. And she stays really busy.
Yes.
So if you're looking for just a great little gift and you're supporting a small business owner.
Yeah.
Check out Hold Pretty.
4.
And,
yeah. Like she works really hard. She does a lot. And, I've lost like a couple of my earrings in the past that she's made me. And I have like single earrings hanging around, whatever. And like, it makes me really sad because she handmade these for me, And so she just gave me 4 more pair. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited for you.
And
I'm very excited to finally decorate for Christmas here at JOCO Community Radio. Like I'm behind in it all. I took out 2 of my Christmas trees last night and took all of this down with my kids, my 2 big kids. Nona's here.
Nona.
My 2 big kids helped me. And so we'll finally be decorating here. And I'm going to start some decorating at my house and kind of get that rolling.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Christmasing until the end of January.
For sure.
So nobody should be shocked by that.
I mean, if I don't get the Christmas stuff up at the end of October, it's not going to get done until the week of Christmas.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I couldn't because half
like,
my house is tore up.
Yeah.
And everything that was in the back is in the front and in my way. So
that's what she said.
But I've been kind of weaving I've been kind of weaving my way, through all of that.
But we were talking earlier, the pictures you posted, the house looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, it's looking, you had that first one where you were like tearing stuff down and you're like, oh man, that's rough.
I'm going to tell you, my body hurts and I'm not going to lie in any way. It really hurts.
Right.
I have been doing the up and down a 9-foot ladder,
yeah.
Because I don't have one of those professional ones where it holds the paint pan, up on a shelf. So every time I got to refill my roller, I got to come down. So I'm up, down, and you're trying to go as fast as you can. And we've painted the big middle living room, a bedroom, a bathroom. My son did the laundry room, and then I did the bathroom and the laundry room ceilings. So, and I've got a bad neck. So that was rough on me.
The best
and
shape.
I just want to thank Turning Point Wellness, Shelby, who is, I've been seeing Dr. Kristen for years, but Shelby is fairly new there. She's been there probably 6 months now, maybe longer, but she does muscle work with you too when she's, and she
gets in there in them deep tissues.
She fixed me yesterday.
Nice.
And she's like, so you like me putting my elbow in your butt? I'm like, my butt cheeks. Sorry,
Mm,
my butt cheeks. That's weird.
Yes,
sure.
we do.
Mike and I were talking about buttholes before the
Get
end
that
of the break.
visual. I heard your
Yeah,
buttholes.
I heard about that too.
Wonder what kind of painting she has over her bathtub.
Yeah, right. Well,
a mirror.
hey, the bathtub isn't even in there yet.
Right.
So tiles getting done right now. Thank you, Chad.
So
Box.
there's
She did a mirror
still a
ceiling.
chance.
Yeah, let me tell you, if you need a tile guy, if you need a shower guy, I'm gonna go with shower because his specialty is showers. He did 300 showers last year.
Wow.
And if you don't know Chad in the Johnson County area, he's a MMA fighter.
Yep.
And absolutely just an all around fantastic guy. And I had no clue that he did showers. And so I was like, oh, things you don't know about
He does showers.
people you're friends with.
He does showers. He does fireplaces.
Yeah.
He does all kinds of backsplashes,
fireplaces?
masonry work.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
his specialty is showers. He would tell you he did 300. So he's doing this big shower in the back. I can't wait for it to be done. He's there tiling now, and
He's got washboard abs. So, tell him to do it without his shirt on.
he's
Okay.
dressed. He's wearing
tell him to take
overalls
it
this
off.
morning.
Chad.
I love overalls.
I'm a married woman, people.
Loose over. I didn't say cheat. I said look.
There's nothing
For
wrong
all
with,
y'all.
there is
I
nothing
would-
wrong with looking.
I would have y'all look all day long. I sat across from him, interviewed him. I was like, dude, this guy is like, he's
I'm
oozing
fire.
testosterone, right? He's beefcake over
What was
there.
that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I heard something too. I don't know.
All
right,
You're alone?
What do you
That
guys?
sounded weird.
So I want to. Okay, do you have what's your? Just give me one family tradition that's super important to you. Like a family tradition that you do every year with your daughter, or one that your mom makes sure it happens. Like, what is it?
Put me on the spot.
All right, anyone.
Fight.
Hold yours.
My family saves up a fight for a whole year till we all get together, and then somebody has an argument. I'm like, what the heck? Like, y'all did 360?
Like, for real?
Yeah, it seems like every time we get together for Thanksgiving or Christmas back in the day, somebody still got a beef with something from way back when. So I just don't
Really?
I don't do anything with my family on Thanksgiving or on Christmas.
Yeah, well, okay,
anymore.
but what traditions do you have with your wife?
Well, traditions with just I don't know. We just try to do something with just us. We try to go.
Like do something new, or
Oh yeah, always.
so doing something new is your family tradition.
or get together with her side's extended family and hang out. And do their thing, and it's traditional. Turkey or chicken or something. Whatever we do, we don't do the whole dressing and all that stuff. I mean, some, but not much, because it's only just a few people that get together. It's
Okay.
not a big extended family.
Nona, what's your tradition?
Well, I guess the biggest one I can think of is Granny's house. Always. It doesn't matter how long she's been gone. We still go to Granny's house, even though it's my aunt's house now, and have our Christmas
And your
there.
game night.
Yeah.
Your game night. You guys do like game.
Yeah. Well, now we don't draw names. We do Chinese Christmas.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
So, and in my family, it's mostly alcohol passed around.
Hey, that's the
Oh
best.
my God,
gift.
a bottle of wine. I want that one. Oh, a bottle of whiskey. So,
And then you trade out for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one that recently, it's been probably in the last 10 years, the kids do a cousin Christmas
Mhm.
where when my husband's mom was alive, they would do it with grandma and then all the cousins. And but they're keeping that alive, and they're extending it out to like other cousins that they are still related to somehow in a way, but not, the first cousins.
Pulling
Pulling
the
even
family,
second
the
cousins,
outside family in.
second
That's
cousins,
really-
third
that's
cousins.
really good.
So, and when they do that, it's Christmas Eve, because that's when Mom used to do her Christmas, was Christmas Eve. And so that's when Jesse and I take a tradition of going to see a movie on Christmas
There you go.
Eve. So that's kind of our tradition, is going to
To
the
a movie together.
movies on Christmas Eve while the kids all go to the cousins'
How
Christmas.
crowded is the movie theater?
It's not bad at all.
Not bad.
It's not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was like a bunch of parents that had that same idea.
No.
No.
Let's all go.
No, they're not as lucky to get rid of their kids.
I'm like traditional. Like we do Christmas Eve, we do church, and then we'll do, ziti or something like that together, and then the kids get to open one gift, a Christmas Eve gift, and it's always, pajamas or slippers or a robe or something like that, because that's what my mom always did. So we still do that. And then my go-to Christmas Day meal is I cook a prime rib and mashed potatoes and my vegetable au gratin, which is broccoli and cauliflower, and
If you promise me there will be no fighting, I can make your house my family tradition.
there's no fighting. There's no
prime
fighting.
rib. You had me at prime rib.
I know, right?
Everybody's waiting for prime rib, and
That is-
they're like, "Hey, did you go get it yet?"
Mhm.
So, so that's what we'll be doing. So, all right. So, how about
My tradition is, I remembered now, we try to do the candlelight service at First Baptist, and
Okay.
that's what we always did, and then we would go to Antonio's for dinner
Mhm.
on
and-
Christmas Eve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
Mhm.
And then on Christmas morning, Mom, well, we have stockings, number one. So in our stockings, number one, the best thing about the Christmas stockings are she gives you a clear plastic shoebox, like the little container. So then you dump your stocking into the box, and like you have then you have like a new container for the year. You can put your hairbrushes in it or all your batteries. So like that's one thing in the stockings. She always puts batteries in our stockings.
Well,
That's
So
a
we can-
great That's a great
Yeah.
stocking
so we
stuffer.
can use our toys, like as kids, when we were kids, your toys don't come with batteries most of the time. So then
even the curmudgeon that I am, I still have stockings.
we
Yeah.
do we do
batteries,
stockings.
and it's a fun gift too.
Yeah.
Something fun that you can stick in there.
Yeah,
that
she always does something weird, like a little
Just-
gadget or like
something that pertains to
Yeah.
that person.
We'll do
you
something
know?
fun like that. Gift cards for sure, and there's always socks and underwear in there. So
Oh, yeah.
our stockings are never hung up on Sunday on
We always
Christmas
have-
Day morning.
she
They're
always
on the
puts-
floor. They're too stuffed.
They're too stuffed.
Yeah, Todd does
They're gonna
like
pull the
massive.
fireplace down.
Todd
Yeah,
does
right.
massive amounts of candy,
Right.
And he goes and he buys up everybody's favorite candy. All right, so
Well, then she makes a big breakfast, and we have a big breakfast on
Oh,
Christmas.
we'll
morning.
do cinnamon rolls, and
She makes pancakes, like she does the whole spread.
the great thing is that the kids are all getting older now, and so nobody's getting up at 6 a.m.
Right.
So that's
Right.
kind of nice.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
Santa's not here until 9.
yeah. But I mean, we still get up early. Anyway.
Right.
So how about half goat demons, pooping logs, doorway sniffing trolls, and Colonel Sanders? Yep, that's an intro. That's an intro that's going to get your attention, right?
Mhm.
So we're going to read on because these are the 8 strangest Christmas traditions on Earth. Okay, so Yuletide in Australia may not feature much snowfall or chestnuts roasting on open fires, but the land down under is far from the quirkiest place on the planet when it comes to Christmas customs. Here are 8 of the most peculiar. The Yule Lads in Iceland. Okay, Icelandic kids don't just get one Santa Claus; they get 13 mischievous trolls roaming the country in the fortnight before Christmas. So, Christmas Eve. So, like Snow White's 7 dwarves, each of the 13 Yule Lads, called Holasvinar, I can't say it right, has his own personality, including doorway sniffer, spoon licker, sausage swiper, candle stealer, curd gobbler, and the ominously named window peeper. Each takes turns visiting children who leave shoes in their bedroom window, dropping off pressies for the good kids and depositing rotting potatoes for the bad ones.
Rotting potatoes.
Can I just read these to you again? Doorway sniffer, spoon licker, sausage swiper, candle stealer, curd gobbler, and the window window peeper.
Never sleep in Iceland during Christmas. There are some really creepy There's some really good, man. They got
It's and they're creepy look. I mean,
yeah, they're like
dwarves are not. They're not the cute little dwarves
you
that
called
you.
them trolls a while ago.
Yeah, they're trolls.
they're
Yeah.
trolls
I'm
and-
like
Yeah.
visualizing what a troll looks like.
and apparently
they look like creepy dwarves. I mean, honestly.
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Apparently they're perverted trolls. They're not just trolls. They go
Right?
sniff doors and look through windows and
Interesting, right? Okay, so then you have the pooper and the pooping log in Catalonia. All right, so it's showing a picture of this guy squatting who looks like he would be squatting over a toilet, and then a log that has this red what do you call it? Like rid of
Santa Claus, I guess, like his
little Red Riding Hood, I guess.
Yeah, and a red
what do you call it?
nose.
Cloak? There you go.
Cloak.
Cloak.
Okay.
All right. So for some inexplicable reason, Cantalans observe not one but two excrement-based Christmas traditions designed to put a smile on everyone's faces. Faces. It says feces.
A smile on your feces.
And it involves pooping.
The first is the Caganer, roughly meaning the pooper, a figurine of a pantsless peasant laying a cable that snuck into nativity. I'm gonna read that again. A figurine of a pantsless peasant laying a cable that snuck into nativity scenes alongside Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. The second is Cagatillo, or the pooping log, which is a small stick with a grin on its face that lives on the dinner table in December. After being kept warm with a blanket and fed every day with nuts and sweets, it then gets beaten with... Wait, this isn't over.
Is this how you make a fruit?
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Okay, you feed it every day with nuts and sweets. It then gets beaten with sticks on Christmas Eve to poop out presents. In reality, the kids duck out to pray for presents, right? While relatives pop the gifts under the blanket.
Thank God.
All righty.
Oh my god, my
Listen,
head
we only
went
got
crazy there.
We only
None of
got
this
2.5 minutes, and
at
we're
all.
we got 6 more to tell you about.
Gifts under a blanket.
Yeah.
It's interesting. All right.
Sticks and nuts and yeah.
Okay, Mary lied, and this is from Wales, and I'm not sure I'm saying that correct or like I'm reading correctly. Welsh culture is ancient and steeped in superstition. It's not surprising, therefore, that residents of South Wales enjoy parading an undead horse around their undead. Okay, so I would say a live
Is
one.
that like very nearly dead from
Right.
Princess Bride?
I don't know.
Almost dead.
South Wales
Very
are
nearly
Mostly dead.
Mostly
a
dead.
dead horse.
They're parading an undead horse around their villages to celebrate the happiest time of year in a wassailing display dating back to probably Celtic times, depends on how you say it. The custom involves draping a white sheet over a pole with horse skull attached and knocking on townsfolk's doors, no doubt giving them the fright of their lives. There's just like all scary shit that they're doing.
Right.
I know.
There is some debate about whether Mary lied translates as Holy Mary or Gray Mare, but either seems equally creepy to us. All right, then you have the Kentucky Fried Christmas in Japan.
Yeah.
All right, introducing the greatest Christmas marketing triumph since Coca-Cola popularized the fat, jolly, red-suited image of Santa Claus we all know and love. Until somewhat recently, Christmas wasn't a huge deal in Japan, but a ridiculously successful KFC ad campaign during the 1970s established the tradition of families tucking into buckets of fried chicken on December 25th. In fact, holiday-themed Dirty Bird has become so popular around Japan that restaurant reservations and specially packaged delivery orders are placed months in advance. All right, we're going to get to one more because we're going to have to finish these up on Tuesday when we're back live. Krampus in Austria.
Oh, I love
I think
Krampus.
we all know Krampus, right?
I love Krampus.
Okay.
He scares the crap out of kids, and those kids will behave all through Christmas.
Because
he shows up on the 5th of December.
Yes, he does. Thank you. Man, you're right on it, man. You know a lot about Krampus.
Oh, Krampus is...
Many
He's
towns
been visited.
Many
he used
towns
to whoop
on
us all the
December
time.
on December 5th.
Where were you on December?
Right. I was getting whooped by Krampus and taken off into the woods so he could steal my soul.
Many towns in Austria and neighboring countries, especially the Alpine villages around Salzburg and Tyrol, celebrate Krampusnacht on December 5th, when dozens of men dressed as the half-goat demon parade around the streets, brandishing sticks and terrorizing children. We'll just
Being
stick
bad.
to our lump of coal, okay?
Right.
Just give me I'll take Cole over
I
Cranberry.
want that tradition to pick up.
Right. All right. So join us again on Tuesday when we're back live, and I'm gonna tell you the rest of these, starting with La Befana, Italy. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Get your shopping done. Merry Christmas. God bless, and be kind, and stay tuned throughout the day for other. Be off.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly, this is the voice of Johnson County, JOCO Community Radio.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that